Do we have any public speakers on the non-agenda items? If you would, Madam Clerk.
This is an opportunity for the public to comment on agenda or non-agenda items. If you wish to speak, before beginning your comments, please state your name and home address. Your comments may not identify any specific person in a personal attack or derogatory manner. You will have, your comments must be limited to 5 minutes, and I will provide you with a 30-second warning to allow you to close out your comments. Persons wishing to speak may come forward at this time.
Do we have any members of the community who would like to speak on non-agenda items? Again, anybody out there want to speak on non-agenda items? If not, we'll go to business by board members. Ms. Byram, business by board members.
All right. A lot of things going on. Wonderful to see all those Lakeland High School honor graduates again. I want to congratulate all of those students and their families, and makes us all very proud, and I'm glad we did make the decision to come here, and it was a wonderful attendance, and I was proud of that so many took the effort to be here, especially their parents and relatives. A lot of things going on. We were at VSBA Tidewater Forum last night, and we had an excellent speaker, Commonwealth attorney from Newport News, Mr. Gwynn, and he reminded us of our life and our purpose. And many of us here, I think he hit the nail on the head for many of those people in the room. And it made me think about a lot of things that are going on around us. I've been following, I'm sure, as many of you, the General Assembly this year. We had many, many bills introduced, 150 or more, dealing with educational initiatives. And we were reminded last night at the VSBA that there have been over 100 educational mandates over the last couple of years placed on us, which cost our school system a lot of time, energy, and money.
It would be funded and unfunded, correct?
Right, and they're unfunded mandates, right.
Unfunded.
And unfortunately, you know, federal, state money is not meeting the needs, and of course, local money is not meeting the needs. And, you know, we're reminded constantly of this, and I was reading the blogs from the VSBA just recently, and, you know, 16% we have lost in teacher salaries in the state of Virginia since 2009, and I think our public needs to be reminded of some of these things. It is very, very important that we move to stop this in our state, because it's being very detrimental on our public education in our state. And, you know, these statistics go on, and I think the public needs to really show us their support. We want the best for our students here in the state and in, of course, our city. And I look forward to working with the City Council, coming forth with money that will help us meet those needs so that we can be a AAA school system, just like a AAA finance system. Thank you.
Ms. Bouchard.
I promised I wouldn't say much, but last week, several of us were at McMinn Elementary, and I just loved those kids. It was wonderful being with them, and it amazed me that the teachers that are there, you would hardly know that they're being so underpaid. They're just wonderful. Thank them for that opportunity.
Well, thank you. Well, I like to thank the school board for agreeing to go around to the various schools at the end of the fiscal year and to allow our honor students to know how much we really appreciate the work they have done, and to provide the opportunity for their parents to be in attendance as well. Tonight really showed that they appreciate us taking the time to bring our meeting to them. And so next month, I assume we'll be at Kings Falk?
I think so.
I believe so, yes.
Kings Falk High School. So I'm announcing that in advance. Excuse me, Mr. Superintendent, you don't mind that, do you? So we appreciate that very, very much. Thank you.
Dr. Bott?
I'd just like to say I love this time of year when we get to see the children and what they've done with their parents, and just to reiterate the fact that this is a partnership and schools and parents working together can do some marvelous things, and I saw that in those students tonight. I'd like to also say that we look forward with some positive anticipation to the work that we're doing with city council members looking at budget cost-cutting measures that we can apply. That union of the city and the schools is going to be a positive experience, I believe. One of the things that we're looking at and what we'd like to do, and I've talked to, I think, most of you individually, one of the things that we're going to do is have Mr. Barksdale come and present to the board so that each of you can ask whatever questions you have about the energy-saving projects that we're looking at, the performance contracts that we're looking at. And just having that forum in which to speak about the concerns that we have for the schools and having people listen is a very positive thing.
Yes. I was appreciative of McMahon Junior Elementary School and Booker T. Washington Elementary School for inviting me to come and read during Read Across America, the celebration of Dr. Seuss' birthday. Had a great time at both schools, and I hope to go back again soon. I'd like to, as the board's representative on the Suffolk Education Foundation, thank Suffolk Public Schools for their support for the gala masquerade held last Tuesday night. It indeed proved that here in Suffolk Public Schools, every child's a star, and we help to make them shine. Thank you.
Thank you. Everything has been said, I've been a part of mainly, and I just like to say that gala affair was really a first-class affair. Really enjoyed it, but most of all enjoyed the talents of the students along with the staff. So everything's great. Thank you.
I'm going to go divergent. I'd like to recommend or let you all know that the North Carolina fans out there that didn't watch the game, North Carolina did beat Louisville.
Yes.
So that's the first thing. And Kings Fork High School will play for the state final championship on Saturday at 2 p.m.
10 a.m.
Oh, 10 a.m.
Yes, sir.
Okay. So get up early and get there so you can have your seat. Kings Fork High School,
Defeat EC Glass.
they defeat the EC Glass to play. They probably play Norcom. I don't know. I think they're probably playing Norcom.
I don't know who they'll play.
Oh, they're playing Norcom, I think.
It's at the Siegel Center at VCU.
Right, Siegel Center. Okay, good. Also, let's see here. I also visited Booker T. Washington reading for Dr. Seuss and the Cat in the Hat. Enjoyed that a lot. And Dr. Whitney, did you have a report on the parent that talked about the drop-off situation at Kings Fork Middle School?
Yes, I believe each of you have received a memo from me in reference to the student drop-off and pickup situation at Kings Fork Middle School. And I think before getting into the details of this, it's important to point out that the number one goal and priority is student safety, making certain that students are safe. So as the team and I observed and discussed this, we kept that in the forefront. It did involve myself, our interim chief of operations, director of plant and facilities, coordinator of transportation, supervisor of transportation, of course the principal of Kings Fork Middle, and officer, the resource officer as well. What we found was that there is a system in place, a very systematic system in place. It is safe. We have 2 teachers that are monitored, are assigned to walk out to the end of the sidewalk for those students who are dismissed to go out into the parking lot. If indeed they are waiting for their parents or looking for their parents' cars. There aren't many students that took advantage of that. The main thrust of this entire thing was students being picked up in the fire lane, and that is happening. But it's happening in a very, I think, structured way, where parents pause when they see their student coming out, they pause, they pick them up, and they move on. What we did notice was during the actual early morning drop-off that some parents will come well before school starts and sit there and wait. And while they shouldn't do that, because obviously it's a fire lane, it's not problematic as far as safety of students at that particular time. The difference is students aren't all coming out at one time. They're waiting to go in. And once the doors do open, they go in, and then it starts where they pull around, allow students to get out of the car and walk in. My recommendation is to maintain the parking situation as it is, the drop-off and pickup situation as it is, but I also have some recommendations to improve it, and I think it's worth sharing those. Staff assigned to monitor the parking lots during dismissal should arrive 5 minutes prior to the start of dismissal to make certain that they're in place and students are directed where they need to go. I'm also recommending that the resource officer should arrive 5 minutes prior to dismissal, provided that he or she can. And I say that because if they're dealing with another situation, obviously with safety, I'd much rather they deal with that situation, but they need to be there at a timely manner. I'm also recommending that the resource officer consistently address all drivers or vehicles when parked for extended period of time beyond students getting out of the vehicle. When I say extended period of time, it's a matter of once a student has gotten out, they're expected to move on. If not, if they see a parent stopping there to go in, to address that immediately, as well as any other vehicle anytime that they're out there. We're able to monitor that, and I'm not suggesting that we're going to monitor that on a regular basis, but central office staff, we're able to monitor that live on our computer through security cameras that are already in place. In fact, that's how we did some of the monitoring that prompts some of our discussion. The principal will also provide additional notice to parents regarding the arrival and dismissal procedures, which she has done that throughout this year in September and in November, because there was a slight change in November. But I think it's important for her to remind parents again of what the expectations are as well.
Thank you. I'd like to ask the board members to look at informational items and see if anything needs to be addressed there. Informational items, board members. Okay, go ahead on. Action on closed meeting items, personnel report.
Personnel. I move that the personnel report be adopted.
Second.
Board Member Bouchard.
Yes.
Board Member Brooks-Bug.
Yes.
Board Member Byram.
Yes.
Board Member Mitnick.
Yes.
Board Member Skeeter.
Abstain.
Vice Chairman Copeland.
Aye.
Chairman Dobransky.
Yes.
Motion carries 6-1.
Student Appeal 14/15-10.
Pupil personnel.
Pupil personnel.
I'm sorry, pupil personnel report.
I move that the pupil personnel report be adopted.
I would like to make a
That's-
motion at this time.
We're not there. It's-
Not yet.
Not that.
Not
That's-
yet.
Okay.
Second.
Second. Yeah.
For the pupil personnel report, Board Member Bouchard.
Yes.
Board Member Brooks-Bug.
Yes.
Board Member Byram.
Yes.
Board Member Mitnick.
Yes.
Board Member Skeeter.
Abstain.
Student Appeals.
Excuse
You
me.
haven't finished yet?
Vice Chairman Copeland.
Oh,
Aye.
Chairman Dobransky.
yes.
Motion carried, 6-1 abstention.
We okay now? Student
ready.
Appeals, go ahead.
Okay. Are you going to read it
You
first?
go ahead.
Okay. I would like to make a motion regarding the first student appeal. I'd like to move that the appeal be granted. However, I'd like to move that the consequence be changed from expulsion to long-term suspension with the information that we mentioned that was given to the parent during the hearing.
Second?
Board Member Bouchard.
Yes.
Board Member Brooks Buck.
Yes.
Board Member Byram.
Yes.
Board Member Mitnick.
Yes.
Board Member Skeeter.
Abstain.
Vice Chairman Copeland.
Aye.
Chairman Dobransky.
Yes.
Motion carried, 6-1 abstention.
Student Appeal 14.
Mr. Chair, I move that Student Appeal 14/15-9 be
Denied.
denied.
Second.
Board Member Bouchard.
Yes.
Board Member Brooks Buck.
Yes.
Board Member Byram.
Yes.
Board Member Mitnick.
Yes.
Board Member Skeeter.
Abstain.
Vice Chairman Copeland.
Aye.
Chairman Dobransky.
Yes.
Motion carried, 6-1 abstention.
This is the part of the meeting I excel at the most. We are adjourned. Thank you very much for coming tonight. Be careful when you go home.